In many modern understandings, Reiki is often associated with energy healing or spiritual therapy. Yet, the deeper meaning of Reiki goes far beyond hands-on healing or mystical energy work. At its essence, Reiki is a path to rediscovering the true self, the pure, boundless awareness that lies beyond ego, personality, and form. The word Reiki is typically translated as spiritual energy, but this phrase alone doesn't fully capture its depth. What is this spiritual energy? Is it something external that flows into us? Is it a hidden force deep within? Or could it be both? And even more than both. When we consider Reiki only as something outside of ourselves, we risk turning spirituality into an external quest, constantly seeking something out there. Conversely, if we view it solely as internal, it can lead to self-absorption, isolating us from the interconnectedness of all beings. But if we begin to see that Reiki, spiritual energy, is both within and around us, we approach a clearer understanding. And if we go deeper still, we discover that Reiki is not bound by location at all. It is all-encompassing. It is the fabric of reality, unbroken and indivisible. To illustrate this, imagine a glass jar. Inside it is space, outside it, more space. They seem separate, but if the jar is shattered, the illusion of separation disappears. The inner and outer space emerge, indistinguishable. This realization, known in the spiritual traditions as non-duality, reveals that the true self is not inside or outside, but everywhere and nowhere simultaneously. Another powerful metaphor is the chick breaking out of its shell. The space within the egg becomes one with the space outside, but the transformation begins from within. Similarly, in spiritual practice, the awakening to the true self must come from the inside out. This is why spiritual paths, including Reiki, consistently guide seekers inward. The Chan Buddhist master Shin Yun once said that the one mind is not inside, outside, or in the middle, and at the same time it is all of these. Like space itself, the true self permeates everything. It is still, formless, and infinite. But there's a challenge. The true self cannot be shown or pointed to directly. It has no form, no color, no sound. How do you show someone something that cannot be grasped or seen? This is why mystics and teachers across traditions have used poetry, metaphors, rituals, and teachings, not as ends in themselves but as signposts. The signpost is not the destination. Yet, many become attached to the signpost, mistaking the form for the truth it points toward. Within the teachings of Mikao Usui, the founder of the Reiki system, 5 such signposts guide practitioners toward their true self: the precepts, meditation techniques, symbols and mantras, reiju, intuition, attunement, hands-on healing. Each of these elements, while important, is simply a pointer. Together they form a path of return, a method to dismantle the illusion of separateness and allow the individual to awaken to their true nature. In Japanese, this realization is called Santuri or Ashin Risume, a state of spiritual peace through self-realization. At this point, the practice of Reiki transforms. It is no longer something one does, but something one is. It becomes a state of being Reiki, rather than a technique or healing art. As Zen teacher Taizan Mayozumi noted, when the self is truly forgotten, there is no division between inner and outer, between self and other. This is the fullness of life. Mikao Usui described the true self as great bright light, a light that shines eternally regardless of what happens in the outer world. Imagine this light covered by lampshades. Each negative emotion, belief, or attachment is a shade that dims the apparent brightness, but the light itself is never diminished. It only seems dimmed. As we remove each lampshade through practice, the light appears brighter and, more importantly, it reaches further. Our compassion deepens because our light can now touch others. This leads to one of the most profound questions in Reiki. What is healing? In contemporary Reiki circles, healing often focuses on physical ailments, but traditionally, the word healing means to make whole. True healing from a spiritual perspective is to reunite our true self, to remember that we are not separate from the universe, but an expression of it. Usui's precepts, often considered the heart of his system, focused not on the body but on the mind. He taught that if we heal the mind, the body will follow. True healing is a return to wholeness, a dissolving of the ego's illusion of separation. One of the most essential precepts is show compassion to yourself and others. From the viewpoint of non-duality, remembering our true self is the most compassionate act we can offer to ourselves. Helping others awaken to their own true self is the most compassionate gift we can offer them, because at its core, this rediscovery involves letting go of the I, the small self or ego that believes in separation. The precepts, when followed deeply, are tools for the dissolution of ego and the unveiling of unity. Zen teacher Taishen Desimaru wrote that excessive concern for the body and its ailments is often a byproduct of ego. Illness in many cases begins in the mind. He taught that when we align with the cosmic order, what we might call the Tao, the universe, or the true self, we move into the deepest form of healing. It's preventative, expansive, and liberating. Interestingly, the word Reiki itself carries deep meaning in both Japanese and Chinese traditions. In Japanese, the kanji for Reiki is often interpreted as spiritual energy, but in Chinese, the same characters are read as Ling Chi. According to Taoist wisdom, Ling Chi is none other than the Tao itself, the refined spiritual essence that emerges only after prolonged meditation and inner transformation. Taoist master Li Ying described Ling Chi as the most subtle and refined energy in the human system, the final distillation of spiritual practice. It is not something assessed casually or externally, but something uncovered through dedication and deep inner work. Ultimately, Reiki is not merely a healing modality, it is a profound spiritual path. Its rituals, techniques, and teachings serve not as ends but as guides, pointing each seeker back to their true nature, their original light. Through meditation, compassion, and self-inquiry, the lampshades are lifted, the shell breaks, the jar shatters, and what remains is light, pure, boundless, and whole. This is the essence of Reiki. Not something to do, but something to remember. Not something external to acquire, but something timeless to embody. When the seeker becomes the path, and the path reveals the true self, there is nothing left to seek, only the radiant presence of being itself. If you are a Reiki practitioner or teacher ready to go deeper, The Inner Heart of Reiki by Franz Steen is a must read. This new edition, published by O-Books, offers a unique and transformative journey into the spiritual core of Reiki practice, not just the techniques, but the profound inner path towards rediscovering your true self. Unlike any other Reiki book out there, The Inner Heart of Reiki explores the essence of the system, helping you from doing Reiki to truly being Reiki. With clarity, wisdom, and heart, Franz Steen brings ancient teachings to life in a way that's both accessible and deeply inspiring. Whether you are new to Reiki or have been teaching for years, this book will take your understanding to a whole new level. Rediscover the roots of your practice and connect with the light that has always been within you. Pick up your copy today and step into the true inner heart of Reiki. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and follow for future content, and we will see you next time.